Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Quantum Dialogues. This is a CXO platform which lets industry experts express their opinions. This is being presented in conjunction with NGenious Solutions. I am Mudit Vyas, Senior Marketing Manager at NGenious Solutions. Our topic for today's discussion or the panel discussion will be digital transformation and modern workplace solutions. These are two critical areas which are shaping the future of industries worldwide. And I believe these are the pillars which are forming the solutions of the future or the organizations of the future. Depending on if you are from manufacturing, you are from media, you are from FMCG or any industries or IT industries worldwide. These are the basic challenges which have come to us. We have explored them over the last 5+ years. One, we can distinguish them into, let's say, decades. One is the decade before COVID, and the other is the decade after COVID. So while technology and legacy platforms were not considered to be something which were a problem or were a constraint to an industry or an organization, but since COVID struck and people started to move to different technologies, digital transformation also became a trend overnight. And how have industries, organizations, be it startup, be it large enterprises, they have embraced cloud and digital transformation in these last 4 or 5 years. They have drastically changed how people think about individuals and about how stalwarts of the industries made these changes get implemented in their organizations. So today's panel, we will be discussing how have you implemented all of these changes in your organizations across domains. And I'm really excited to introduce all of you to the panel. We are joined by Mr. Ajay Awale, Mr. Gaurav Vij, and Mr. Kulwant Chhabra. And we also have a CEO of NGenious Solutions, Mr. Nilesh Mehta, and myself, Mudit Vyas. I'll be moderating the session. I would like each one of you to go one by one. We can start with Mr. Ajay Awale to give a brief introduction, and then we can move to Mr. Gaurav and then Mr. Kulwant, and we can proceed. And then I'll be asking the next set of questions. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mudit. So my name is Ajay Awale. I represent a company called Aquapharm Chemicals currently. So having more than 23 years of experience now in IT area. It's a manufacturing IT area core. So when I started my career, I think I started my career with a media company called Sakar Press, which was into newspaper industry, and then followed with heavy crane industry manufacturing, road equipment building manufacturing, then food pharma manufacturing, and now chemical manufacturing. So product point of view, it's quite diversified kind of journey, but everyone knows that manufacturing IT remains same, 80-85%, and then some variation due to product, maybe 15-20% max, I would say. So implemented a lot of projects in fact, and I'm always happy to remember those projects, which give a lot of pleasure to us in terms of success, technical success and all. Maybe in coming journey, definitely I'll explain a couple of them, the current one also, and we'll stick to the topic which Mudit said. So not bifurcating from the main agenda, but yeah, thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone, and this is Gaurav. So I'm a serial entrepreneur, and this is my second venture. Purely into, so I'm from a technology background, but today we are enabling technology into the co-living sector and transforming that. Prior to this, like my earlier venture was into healthcare. We created a platform which was checking and using AI. It was actually guiding people, towards preventive care, telling them, what risks they can get into in next 5, 10, 25 years. And prior to that, like over 20 years of experience I have, primarily into technology, architecture, cybersecurity, as well as enterprise architecture, and have led many transformation projects in and across Fortune 500 organizations before starting on my entrepreneur journey. And so that's it. So that's all about me.
Yeah, hi, this is Kulwant Chhabra. So I'm from Kolkata, Diamond Beverage Limited. We are the authorized bottle of Coca-Cola India. So I have a span of 18 years in the industry, where half of the time I was with the IT companies and implementing different sort of projects in real estate, manufacturing. I am worked with the Coal India, And after that, I moved from the core IT to the manufacturing segment, where I worked with the Jaguar and Company Private Limited, which is the topmost company for this bath fitting segment in India. And now I'm with Coca-Cola from last 6.5 years. And here I'm working on the ERPs and the digital transformation, cloud adoptions, technology, cybersecurity is taken care by me. Thank you.
I guess I'll go next. Thank you, everybody. Amazing introductions. My name is Nilesh Mehta. I'm the founder and CEO at NGenious Solutions. We are an IT consulting firm that has been working with many of these industries like yours, manufacturing, chemical, finance, legal, healthcare, pharma, over the last 2 decades, helping them implement enterprise collaboration, process automation, BI solutions, and then growing them into this whole cloud platform over the last 2 decades over here. So I think I'm going to ask a quick question here. Since most of us came from technology background, how many of us came from a C or C++ programming?
Yeah, that's the start of everything, right?
That was the start of everything, right? And I think yesterday I was reading an article, what came before, the egg or the chicken, and I think they finally identified that the egg has come before. So we all come to that egg of C or C++ somewhere at some point over there, right? But thank you for joining us today. We are very honored to have you, esteemed guest, on the panel today. And I look forward to having an amazing discussion here. Mudit, over to you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the introductions. To bring back to the structure of the discussion. So we'll structure the discussion into 3 segments. The first would be strategic role of technology. The second would be overcoming challenges in digital transformation. And the third one is the reimagining of modern workplace. So start off with the first segment, which is strategic role of technology. So as we all know, technology is no longer just a support function. It has been transformed into a strategic enabler for growth, innovation, and new ideas. And to bring more light to it, I would like to open the panel for discussion. I would like to know more how industries are navigating this transition. And I would like to start with Mr. Gaurav. As you know, you are a serial entrepreneur. You'll be with healthcare industries, and now you're into real estate and common co-living and other things. Coming to the current industry that you are focusing more on, which is real estate, where customer trust is really very critical. I want to know, or rather we want to know, how has technology been the enabler for you, and how are you redefining the entire real estate segment and redefining engagement and streamlining operations in the real estate industry in the current market?
Right. So it's quite a nice question. It is actually if you see the trend of the industry, someone who has not gone with the time, right, with the shift, the person that industry or that organization has actually gone down. So any sector, be it real estate or be it manufacturing, any sector definitely needs a transformation with the set of technology which is going around, right? Before COVID, this shift was pretty slow because people, they were still not realizing the value of technology, what they can actually get into and how it can transform. But post COVID, right, if you see the acceleration with the digital transformation has got across all industries has been phenomenal. Today we talk about, if we talk about the real estate, today we talk about designing everything online, right? Use AutoCAD or other systems, right, to design. There are many platforms available which are cloud-based to design your building or your structure or everything, the spaces, like Planner 5D or other ones, right? Similar way, the transformation has accelerated not only use of these technologies, but also the outcome of these, right? So for example, if I want to cut down the cost of operations, right, I definitely need to bring the technology in. I need to bring the automations. I need to use the AI in. If I want to sell something good to the customers to create their journeys, right, I definitely have to use technology, right, because they are remote. They are not with me at the same place. So I have to create a bridge between our services and the customers so that they can utilize it, pretty well, right? So, there are many such examples, right? Being in the logistic industry, right? What's going around, right? If you talk about quick commerce, which is there, entire logistics today is on the shoulders of technology. So that is a shift which we have seen post-COVID, that the businesses have realized that without technology, they cannot go into anything. Technology has to lead, and the outcomes will be a marriage between the business ideas, business, and the technology shift. That will be the outcome of every business going forward.
Just a quick, as in discussion on this is, let's say between healthcare and between real estate. So these are two different tracks altogether. How did you manage to bring the workforce together? I know how are you able to stitch the team and bring to the idea where, okay, now we are moving to this space from healthcare. What was that transition like?
So for me, it's the same thing because I was leading technology there. Healthcare was a technology company, and here also I'm leading the technology and the transformation. The only difference is my stakeholders, right? My external stakeholders, my customers have become different, and my internal stakeholders have gone different, right? So what I need to focus on and what I need to do is like to understand the pain points of my internal stakeholders, bring them a value which actually covers 80% of the rule. I mean, I always follow 80-20% of the rule, which is called the Pareto rule. So if I'm able to serve them 80% of their problems, create a value around it, and then, optimize the things, I have achieved my goal. Similarly, when I talk about my external customers, right, when we at hostels, we have to create a convenience, a comfort zone for them to stay, right? We have to create a value for them. There are many such examples which we have been doing, which we have done. Imagine like, if a student who is staying with us today and he leaves our property and, he has a lot of baggage to go around, right? What if we give a platform like OLX or something which they can actually sell those material in-house internally to our hostels itself, or people who are staying at our hostel? It is going to get immense value for them. So there are many such ideas which we have to think, which we have to implement. And of course, internal stakeholders, 80-20 is the best rule which anyone and any should follow.
Thank you, Gaurav, sir, for the response. It was indeed really insightful to know the things that you've done and how it has transformed again. So moving from you, from healthcare and real estate to Mr. Kulwant Chhabra, we all know how supply chains are really very essential to somebody in the FMCG sector, as already identified by Gaurav sir, that logistics and supply chain, they play a very crucial role in any industry in these times. So you being at the core of everything with Coca-Cola and your the bottling partners for Coca-Cola nationally. Now, how do you see supply chain overall, and how is it you're transitioning or you're transforming the entire supply chain and bringing to scale your business? How has technology helped you turn this into a competitive advantage? Also, it would be great if you could help us with what you have been implementing at your organizations overall, and what is the current ERP that you use, and what are the drawbacks and other things that you face on a daily basis to make sure your supply chains, your logistics are in line?
Yeah, first to rectify that we are not at the national level, but we are looking after Kolkata and South 24
Okay.
Pargana this season.
Okay.
Yes, technology is the backbone of our system, because without technology, whether it is before COVID or after COVID, doesn't matter for us, because we have not faced any issue during the COVID era. During this entire COVID, our office, or I say our operation, has not hampered for a single day, because as said, technology is the backbone of our business. Whether serving all the retailers in the market, approx you can say 40 to 50,000 retailers in the market we need to serve, visiting them, taking orders, placing coolers. As you know, we are selling Coca-Cola and related beverages products. So this is required to be chilled. People like it chilled. So we need to manage the coolers for them. Then every day the supply chain need to work, because every day the fulfillment need to be done for those orders. So without technology, it can't be possible to manage this entire process. So we are using short of SFA and DMS at our place, where people's going with the handled in the market. They are taking the orders in the real time. Those orders coming into the company, then supply is happening very next day for those orders. And again, the major difference with the other company distribution and our distribution is that we are doing the billing in market at the real time, because see, we are dealing with the short of retailers, that 10 people are going to that retailer with their products. So suppose we are going with the Coca-Cola products, so someone coming from the Colgate, someone coming going for the from the ITC, Palmolive, everybody is going. So what happens? Whoever reach to the outlet and given the product and taken the cash, he is the first winner. So in that case, we also need to ascertain that we reach there first so that our product gets sold rather than others. We will take those cash from the market. So how we are doing this? We have implemented AI. We have taken the help of AI over here. We have taken some parameters from the retailers. We are maintaining approx 20-25 parameters of the retailers, and there is a backbone is we use 𝐍𝐵𝐞𝐧𝐬. That's a route planning or dynamic route planning software, which tell me in the very next morning to my driver that where to go, when to go, how much need to deliver, and this is your truckload, entire truckload, and you need to go into this sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, so that he did not miss a single outlet, he did not miss a single sale, because every penny count, So this is how, this is where in the logistics side we have using AI for our delivery purpose. In our ERP, we have just migrated from our legacy system to Microsoft Dynamics 365. The reason is that now legacy system cannot cope up with the current market requirements. They cannot align with the current demand. So we need to move to the Microsoft Dynamics 365 so that we can build more technologies around it. We can leverage the advantage of cloud, we can leverage the advantage of AI ML, we can leverage the advantage of IoT, we can leverage the advantage of data analytics, we can have less stress on the security side, as when we go to the Microsoft Dynamics 365, the security of my main ERP is their area. As it is a SaaS-based solution, we simply log in and use it. Security side is taken care by them only, by Microsoft itself. They did not allow us to touch their servers or access anything. So from that side, we are free so that we can put our entire attention on the digital transformation side. And we have a roadmap for next 2 to 3 years, that how we are going to achieve our business objectives, keeping the ROI in mind. And just right now we have started rolling out our eB2B solution. Again, this is to the retailers, and again we have utilized AI capabilities on that also, where that solution inform retailer that what you need to order based on the surrounding purchase behavior, that during this your segment what others are buying, so you are losing this business, so you don't need to miss our focus, and ultimate goal is to that whether our sales team or whether our retailers, they did not need to put their mind what to sell, rather than system will tell them what to buy. So that is how we are transforming our entire sales operation and supply chain operation.
I've never thought that a business like Beverages, this could have such significant technology going into it. How to buy, when to buy. Routing is itself a very difficult thing. The first case study I thought ever was a success was UPS, because UPS always highlights its significant routes, that if you are with UPS, you are at the forefront of delivery. So it really is great insights about how you are managing the entire workforce, and how you are putting the ball in rather the retailer's court, how to buy and when to buy and what to buy. So that interesting was a great this could be a case study in itself to understand how you're doing it. And probably if you're in Kolkata, somebody in Lucknow would want to know what you are doing with your technology, and probably it could be transformed into something big. So let's say I never thought your industry would have some legacy systems that would be outdated, and since it's a very fast moving industry, I would like to move to Ajay sir. As in, you come from a background which is again manufacturing, chemicals and everything, and again that's a interesting challenge in itself, that how we are dealing with chemicals on a daily basis, and you might have more legacy systems to transform than what we believe, or probably I may be wrong here when looking at the panel discussion right now. So what are the legacy systems that you have seen that have been really very tricky, and how have you been able to implement something similar to what Kulwant sir has done, and if you could throw some light on it, and how the manufacturing industry is facing its own challenges, whether be it modernizing your workplace or be it playing with your ERP systems or legacy systems and digitizing them.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, see, typically when we say, manufacturing and in India, normally automation people never thought of, in fact, if you go decade back or couple of decade back. And what made people, go for digitalization is, the government mandate, I would say compliance actually. And till the date, in today also, if you ask few leaders on the automation or digitalization, they are not keen. Honestly, I mean, this is my blunt opinion actually. They are keen on the mandate which is made from the government, say for example, e-invoicing, or maybe some compliances on the import export, and many other things actually. For that purpose, people are inclined towards the digitalization. On the other hand, there are leaders who are really passionate on the digital front because they see the value in digital, and they think that digital drives the business actually. Okay, if you dream for a big business, then without digital you cannot do that. I mean, that is for sure. I mean, it's 100%. Everybody knows that actually. Earlier, IT systems or digital was known as enablers actually. But today it's no more enabler. In fact, it is an oxygen. In fact, it is an oxygen of the entire business. In fact, without oxygen you cannot survive also. So I have the same opinion, and you have to make this oxygen quite pure so that your health, your ethics, your the way that you do business remain intact and long term. Basically, your life gets increased with that. As far as manufacturing concerned, I have seen a lot of products earlier also, like right from food, chemical, pharma, and all. And every manufacturing organization has its own culture actually, and that culture really depends on the product itself. And then does it drive the internal automation? Now, as far as chemical concern, I would say for Aquapharm, I would specifically talk about. It's quite well advanced organization since beginning, in fact, because we are having SAP system since last more than 13 years, 14 years. But when I joined, I think I immediately switched the things on cloud, first of all, and then upgraded system with S4 HANA, because that's where, people were, finding certain difficulties on some new processes, some integration front, some additional things actually. And now today, I think those things are addressed quite well, I would say, with the new technology here. When I talk about cloud, earlier I think people were not, quite inclined towards keeping their data on cloud, or maybe third-party kind of systems and all. But today I think this is not the scene. The company like us is 100% on cloud. There is no data center in house, for example. This is just one star in my leadership, I would say, because I able to communicate well to the stakeholders, chairman, board of directors, and all, that we should go with the right trend of the cloud, avail its services, and look at the subscription model simply because our life is also going on the subscription. So it's not you cannot decide your own life also. It's a subscription. Every day you subscribe. I mean, that's the fact. It's the same thing with the business. Without these services, you cannot move ahead. You subscribe because every year there are new strategies. Say last year what I discussed with my management was really little different than today what I am discussing, because the trends are getting changed and you have to adhere with those trends. I mean, there is no way. First of all, now last year I didn't talk about cybersecurity, but today I think I'm focusing on cybersecurity and asking to invest on the cybersecurity first, because that is the primary thing which will come in future, and we have to address that. So maybe for that purpose, we have to drop a couple of projects and keep cybersecurity on front, for example. So these are the things from automation area. I think everyone is looking to optimize the entire industry, plant industry, so plant area basically, and people are calling it as, Industry 4.0. Of course, I mean, it is Industry 4.0, but it constitutes a lot of other things also. And as far as Aquapharm is concerned, or maybe chemical industry is concerned, definitely they are looking for plant automation as the first priority in terms of automation. Here it covers your OT technology, operations technology. It's all automation and integration with your IT systems, which are today could be SAP or any Dynamics or certain like this, because this will help to deliver in time, to focus your customers and plan your input also. I mean, that's for sure. And I have seen that by doing certain projects, I've seen the change, a big change in fact. And today we are focusing on IoT to get certain other processes which are non-core manufacturing processes, but get those processes also on board so that it will be a complete package and you can call it as a Industry 4.0, for example. So that's where the strategy is, and your roadmap is getting built by most of the industries, I would say, because I talk normally in CIO forums and people are aware on that, which is really good. We come to know certain different projects, we learn from them, and then we try to copy it. Or people take, my advice, for example, for any other projects, and they copy it. So it's a good collaboration, I would say.
Thank you so much for the insight, sir. And that's great to know how chemical industry itself is evolving. And also knowing that SAP B1 or S4 HANA is there and you've been doing it for the last 14 plus years is again a testament to your understanding and your implementation of these technologies. Because if I consider anything that I've known, nobody in the manufacturing or the same segment has been using ERP for such a long time, and let alone S4 and SAP, where the costs again they mount a lot. So that would be my counter or next set of questions to you when we come to the next segment. But I'll take this to Nilesh sir and ask him about the overall thing that he has worked on in his entire career. Because so you have worked across a lot of industries, across a lot of segments, and how do you see what are the trends that are there in organizations right now, or what are the new trends in technology, and how organizations need to align technology investments with their strategic priorities, and how would you place them, since you work with clients across India, Middle East, US, and everywhere?
Thank you, Mudit. Amazing insights from everybody over here. Gaurav, Shubhanji, you guys have definitely done some amazing work in your fields and your industries over there. My experience has been very similar to yours over the last, couple of decades working with, large enterprises around the world over here. All of us are in the same mindset, right? In this competitive age, for us all to grow, we are no longer the mom and pop shops over here. All of us, most majority are global in business. They have resources across multiple different locations, multiple different countries over here, right? And all have ambitions to scale globally. There are multiple, things that need to be implemented. Technology is going to be the only way we are going to do this stuff, right? Human beings can only do so much. Technology can work around the clock with efficiency and give the same performance every second, every performance, every transaction is doing over here. I have seen the same trends over the last, couple of decades as people have grown to, cloud solutions, starting 10, 15 years with Microsoft, Office 365 BPOS or Google Workplace Suite over there. Those were where the initial journey started going to cloud, and then slowly taking all of your legacy applications, ERP applications, taking them into the cloud and making sure that, our team members can access this data from any device, any place, anytime during the day has been very important for us. And all of that, as Ajay mentioned, has to be in a bubble of security. I want my people to access my data from their cell phones, from their laptops, from any hotel around the world, whether they're in Bali or in Alaska, and get to any information they want. But I want them to do it securely. That's the key over here, right? My data has to be secure no matter wherever you're accessing this from. So cybersecurity, as Ajay said, it has to be of utmost importance to every organization in this world. Data is being hacked every other day from organizations, so all of us have to be really careful about this stuff. But in what we have seen in the last decade or so, also our way of working has changed. There is a lot more hybrid. There is a lot more remote work that has to happen, which means people are not connected to each other. In the old days, if I wanted to get something, where is my invoice for this vendor? I would go and talk to somebody next door over there. I can't do that anymore now. I have to be on a platform that allows me to communicate with my, team members. They could be in Pune, they could be in Argentina, they could be in Sweden, for all I know, wherever they are. And we need tools that will allow us to collaborate with each other, right? Something like a Microsoft Teams, which is what we are using right now for this session. Gaurav ji, is in a different part of the country. Ajay ji is in Pune, Kulwant ji is in Kolkata. And these platforms have changed the way we work drastically, right? Even before COVID, they were here, but after COVID, our life cannot be imagined without these tools, right? Whether it's Microsoft Teams or Zoom or Cisco WebEx, they play a very, very important part of our life over here. Similarly, any and all cloud applications, are absolutely a must-have now. This is no longer let's think about this or it's necessary. It's a must-have solution, right? As Ajay ji and Kulwant ji mentioned, by going to Dynamics 365 or SAP S4HANA or using the latest AI technologies, we can focus on doing our business where the OEMs are focused on maintaining their platforms. We don't have to worry about the server being up and down, 99.999% up, down, making sure my resources are not on a vacation right now, calling them at midnight saying my server's gone down. You don't have to worry about that. They have data redundancy. They have disaster recovery solutions in place. They have security in place. More important, they have compliance in place, right? Gaurav coming from healthcare and industry, I need to make sure my data is secure. When I put it on your platform, I need to make sure you are compliant with that platform. So SaaS is absolutely the biggest trend we are seeing, in terms of going. There are still hundreds and thousands of companies that are still legacy on-premise. There are two reasons. One, as I mentioned, sometimes organizations are slow to move. Not every organization can be as agile as we want them to be and just quickly jump and say, let's go to cloud tomorrow. Second, they have data concerns. I'm from finance and I have banking information. Can I really take this to the cloud or not? So there are considerations, but slowly and steadily, everybody's coming to the cloud. There's no doubt about that perspective over there. The other thing also, as we get into the next generation of employees, right? Our next generation is, all of us are in our, mid 40s, mid 50s, wherever we are. But the next generation is in the 20s and 25s, and they're all born with iPhones and Samsung devices and stuff like that. And they are impatient. They need something like this right now. I cannot wait for my server to reboot. I need to have access to my information like yesterday. If it takes 2 seconds to load something, I'm going to be impatient. I'm going to call IT and say, like, my data is not loading. So our technology has to evolve at that space where we can support both our senior team members and the next generation at the same time, and allowing us to work together in a collaboration properly. Does that make sense? Open for feedback from the rest of the team here.
No, I mean, it's a very good point, Nilesh, what you have mentioned across. Definitely, I think even I have also seen the organizations moving a bit slowly, when it comes to cloud adoption or moving towards a new. And that is the point where the showcase of ROI comes into picture, right? If I'm able to convince my leadership with the ROI, as Ajay and Kulwant has also mentioned in their discussions, definitely we'll get a go ahead from the management to actually implement those. And that all drives how we the roadmap of our IT strategy, the roadmap for the next 5 years, like how we move from getting the one system which is a legacy, transforming it to a new or mobility first system which is in the hands of everyone. And I think that's how we the things move, right? Convincing is more important than anything else in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. But there are tons of platforms that have proven themselves again and again. Microsoft, Google, AWS, ServiceNow, Salesforce. These are industry well-known platforms that can be, and SAP, of course, right? Well-known platforms that can absolutely be trusted to deliver excellence and improve our operational efficiency, our automation processes. So we can, like Kulwant and say, scale our business. We can focus on growing our business. We don't want to be special in technology, right? That is your job as manufacturing companies. You guys want to focus on your core business. We help with the technology implementation, make sure you can adopt it properly, and you can take it to the next level over there, right? Kulwanji, your thought process on AI and implementation light years beyond, right? We see AI still in the infancy. Most of the world is still trying to understand what AI means, right, and how to grow this. Your use case is one of the few real-time use cases that I've seen. Most people are still saying, let's use AI to analyze data. Let's get it to give us insights into what our data means over here, right? But practical implications or implementations are very rare still, right? But before, and you have a very good use case, so it's easy for you. But for the rest of us, or the rest of the organization, AI still is a very new tool that needs a lot of governance and planning for organizations, right? Yes, enabling it for your routing and your dispatch and stuff is important. At the same time, when you enable AI in your organization, it still has access to all of your data. It has access to information that maybe it should not have. Who is that information being shared with? How is it being put out in the market? That governance is absolutely important for us to look at. But it's definitely the future and some amazing use case over there.
Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Just to bring everyone on pace, that I think we've overshot the time for the first segment. So I'll probably move into the second segment faster. And I would expect that I get answers which are crisp because we've had a very big discussion in terms of the overall perspective that I could see that the answers I was expecting a bit later have already come through. So I'll probably, the discussion would be a little shorter, which that is what my expectation is. Although I want it to be as long as possible, but all of us are constrained on time. So great answers, great discussions and everything. My second segment is basically overcoming challenges in all the digital transformation initiatives that you guys have taken throughout your careers or in your current roles. So we have seen that you've been able to convince the management to invest in cloud, to invest in the latest of technologies and everything. But wherever we go, there is always a resistance, be it cultural, be it cost, or be it the complexity of the new things that you are bringing to the organization. So the resistance would be, why now? Why do you want to spend that much money? The cultural resistance would be the employees would not be hand in hand with your thought process. Let's say the leadership says, okay, I'll give you this check and this is your card to spend as much as you want. But your team does not want to be on board at the same time. So they don't want to embrace technology. That's the first cultural path which you have to go down to convince the team first. Leadership is okay, cost hai, chalega. But why? So why am I asking this is that most of us were given teams as something that the tool which will make the biggest change possible while you're working hybrid. But it is both in both ways. Somebody needs to understand A, B, C. Now there are channels in teams. There are multiple things that you do across teams. Collaboration and document management have also come on teams. So these are things that which have come to the foray. So I want to know your experiences in that. First, that is cost. Second is the cultural resistance, and the third is all the other concerns that have come to you in terms of complexity of making things happen. I'll start with you, Gaurav.
Yeah, that's a very good question, Mudit. So we see, two different set of challenges. Like one is, of course, convincing the management on the cost impact of, bringing the transformation of the technology in place, right? There are different set of ROIs which can be generated. One could be a tangible ROI, which can be seen in terms of the money which is coming out of the technology which we are going to implement. And the second would be intangible, like where the money is actually not visible, but the outcomes are visible or will get visible in terms of the productivity improvements, optimization, the acceleration of the productivity or the outcomes which are being generated by the operations or the other team members, right? So definitely, it all boils down to your IT strategy, or as well as the business strategy which you take to the management, along with the things which you want to implement and how it is going to convert that organization, right? So that is where the entire power comes in terms of your financial approvals, right? So at HooLiv also, right, when we implemented everything in-house, right? Our entire CRM, ERP, mobile apps, everything has been built in-house, right? And we proudly say like it's one of the first and one of the best operating system that I have ever seen in calling in India, at least, that I proudly say. So we implemented it, we go to the management, we take the entire set of things that we want to implement, we show them that how it's going to optimize the productivity, reduce the number of leakages which are happening at the ground level with the operating staff working at the hostels, the housekeeping. There are many such examples like which we have implemented, and we show them the value which it is going to generate, and then we proceed with that, right? Now, the second big point, which is the organizational change, right? That is very difficult to achieve. So there are many ways one can approach to that. an approach could be from top to down. When the leadership is convinced that they want to roll it out, there could be many things like we can do, like train the trainer model. We can have workshops. We can identify spokes from different departments who come together, sit, and then they percolate what the senior management wants to implement, and how how this is aligning to the vision and the mission which the organization has seen, the roadmap the organization has built for next couple of years, right? So this brings the organizational change which goes from top to bottom, right? Another way could be understanding the pain areas which the ground staff is facing, and then gradually adopting those for the technologies which you are building, rather than enforcing the things back to them. Let's say if most of my ground staff doesn't know English, right? Then there's no point of rolling out an app which is in English. I have to go for a multilingual app which they can easily use, right? Similarly, we saw a lot of challenges. We saw challenges where the ground staff was unable to do check-ins at the hostels. They were managing the things offline at the desktops. We gradually implemented everything, and it's mostly in use, right? So today we have most of the operations automated. We have even the check-in, the ground staff can even not do any kind of leakages. Everything is entirely into the go green strategy the organization has seen, and that is the change which we have seen gradually done over a couple of years, and then being enforced in a month's time or something like that.
Great insights. Thank you so much, Gaurav. Moving ahead with Kulwant sir, if you could also throw some light on this, and I would request if you keep it short to 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes.
See, most of the things has been covered by Gaurav, and I'm totally agree with the Gaurav. Just I want to add one, two things in that. In India or anywhere you say, managements are concerned with only two things. When you go for any technology budgets, they are concerned with only two things. Are you going to add on value to the organization in terms of growth, or you are going to cut down the cost in terms of savings? That is where the entire ROI is present in the nutshell. So when I'm going with a budget, so I want to implement this, I have to mention that by using this, your productivity will increase. So suppose in a certain process, now there is a 100 manpower are utilizing, and now it will come to the 30 or 40, management will approve the budget, because now everybody is going from the capex to opex. So even employee salary is a opex now, right? So this is how I used to go to the management to see this is the growth you are going, because we have mostly worked with the sales team, as most of the automations are done with the sales, shipping, logistics part, because finance is one part which is running fine. Finance is there, and lots of fintech companies are there who are supporting finance. But in sales side, logistic and supply chain side, still there is lots of scope of improvement where I have to work with. So there, like I said, that we have implemented Loginext for our dynamic routing. Now you will understand that there were 70 to 80 trucks plies in the market every day, and those are cut short to 40 to 50. So the saving was around 30 to 40% on the daily base. When you say truck, now you are not only saving on the truck, you are saving on the fuel also, you are saving on the driver also, you are saving on the loaders also. So lots of savings are turning around that. That is the management interest. Now when coming to employees or customers, what they need? They need smoothness, smooth operations. If you understand their pain, if suppose, for example, I will take, they are spending 3 to 4 days for a certain process, or I say for certain reports from different areas, they have to collect the data, merge it, and in the month end they are spending 4 days on a process or report, I say. And if you cut short the process or reports and it is available in 1 and 2 hours, I'm telling you, employees will accept it. There is no cultural resistance there. Employees will accept it, your customer will accept it, your team will accept it. So you need to see the UX UI, whatever you are giving,
Absolutely.
that should be easy to use, customer friendly, employee friendly, management friendly, and then everything is through. That's I've kept in nutshell.
Thank you, Kulwant sir. I'll also now bring in Ashok Tiwari sir into the fore. He's CIO for Finolex Cables. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Great to have you as part of the discussion, sir. So what we were discussing was, it's really very easy to implement new systems and remove legacy systems. No, that's the easier part, but the difficult part is to convince the management. And how do you explain the cost to them?
Yes.
How do you explain the cultural changes, and what are the different hurdles that you might have faced in your roles? So if you could throw some light on that, and what have you been able to do in this regard?
So I would say, see, changing again is difficult job. We cannot say that it's easy to change the legacy modern system with the legacy system. It's not that easy. Change management again a big process and big challenges are there. Okay, so that is a separate matter. But the question is how to convince the management and the stakeholders to make the change effective.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically, it's quite difficult to convince the management, but it is difficult where a lot of innovation is already happened. But where the ground is empty and you want to play, you can play, and there is a lot of scope available to do so many things in that empty ground, and it depends upon the mentality or the desire of the management. If they are looking somebody who can come in the open ground and can play with the right directions, right instruction and right intent, then I don't think that there is any constant of budget or any constant of willingness. Wherever I worked in my life, I never faced this type of challenge that the budget is the challenge, ROI is the challenge. The only thing is that what kind of the stuff you are picking. See, there are so many things in the company. It is you who will see where and what is needed with the mind of the management. You feel that it's your company, and what are the weaknesses, what are the challenges, where are the weaknesses, where are the challenges. If you put those weaknesses and challenges in front of the management, they'll give you the budget, they'll give you the manpower, they'll give you everything. And another thing is your faith and your commitment towards the management. If they feel that this person is willing to do it and this person is going in the right direction and whatever he is saying is the correct, they'll give you the budget. This is what I can say to you. So there is no hurdle. Only thing is you have to reach the right point where you need the investment from the business.
It's really, really critical to understand. So that's where more processes. If you have the right processes in place, if you understand what the business is, what makes the management tick is also very important. That's part of going into
opportunities is always there.
Yes.
Even if you have implemented everything, you can find the opportunity. Just see it. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I'll move the discussion to Ajay sir. So since we spoke about you implementing ERP very long back, and it's been almost 15 years that you've been in the ERP forum. Now, I wanted to ask that how has this implementation, how did the management take that implementation? What was the meaning of ERP when you actually implemented it 15 years back? And how has it helped since when it was implemented? And what has been the benefits that the company has reaped in sales and or in savings and intangibles in ROI and other things over the years for you?
Yeah, so see, I got a formula to deal with, the management in this kind of fronts actually, irrespective of ERP or any other investment on the technology. I think I usually work on the company, the profit and loss statement actually. And onto that profit and loss statement, you have to really look into the area wherein you can increase the variable margin of the organization simply. And you have to focus your project, you have to focus your initiative and align to the variable margin wherein it is going to save your money and helping the organization. It's a quite a simple arithmetic which normally CFO understands immediately, and once a CFO is inclined towards you, it's pretty easy to convince other stakeholders and other including CEOs or MDs onto that investment. For example, ERP, which is called as a little bit higher side investment for any organization normally, and people think on that. Say for example, when we were having ECC 6.0 since last 12-13 years, and a couple of years back we migrated to S/4HANA. So of course there is a shift into the investment front. Then how we justified? Okay, we justified with the technology, front first of all, and what technologies, giving you in terms of enhancing your processes, giving people, right kind of data, dashboards, etc., etc. But the real thing is, it is going to help you to, plan your business right from your forecasting on the sales front, right from forecasting on the procurement front, and then the middle part, variable management, wherein how people are going to confident that you are going to save it. So, and that really helped actually. I mean, it's a wonderful area wherein every CIO leader, needs to look into, study, and then project that. So that's one part. And always do not forget to link the risk associated, the compliance associated, because that drives normally. If you really talk to any consultant of the organization, so I was, talking on the certification, or, the certification standards bodies or compliance standard bodies, those consultants also help you, to showcase the risk matrix associated with the current process or current legacy systems and all. And you can definitely showcase that. Every business leader, normally when you showcase the risk, he will always ask you how to mitigate and what you need on that to mitigate it, because nobody wants, to carry that risk for XYZ of years in their business roadmap. So that clarification is quite clear. It's easy when you talk with the data and with the technology. So that's fine. And from the other front, which, Mudit, you asked, how technology will help, in fact, right? So irrespective of anything, in fact, it's not only ERP or any other thing. You have to really link the processes, and that is the mandatory thing. As a CIO, you have to showcase that. So when you talk about forecasting, for example, the procurement also, or sales also, then how it will help, and how people dependency will come out of it, you have to definitely showcase that. And today, I think if you ask me, I think 99% we are dependent on the system forecasting from sales front. We just get the opinion from the sales representative, which is always welcome. In fact, if they won't come, doesn't matter. But really, people are dependent on this system forecast, because we have done certain ML programming and AI, which works on the historic data and give you with the current opportunity probability percentages also, and your historic data, it gives you a right and perfect forecasting. People rely on that. They do their production planning, and really, it's just helping a lot. 22, 25 sales engineers, are relieved from that job now. I mean, at least at that area. So it's just a shift. It's a shift. You have to convince, definitely. Cultural shift, I would say it's a challenging, because, there are leaders who are, at the age of retirement, and you don't invest your time to convince them. It's a simply, you have to wait till the retirement and then do a change. That is my blunt opinion on it. So I have personally experienced, I wanted to make a big change in the organization earlier. And the area which belongs to that leader, I mean, of course, he was against the technology. I said, we will not do that. After 1 year, we started again that, and in fact, I have shown the calculations which were so magically showing the revenue of 1.6% increment in the profitability after 1 year. And I'm proud of that, honestly.
Thank you so much for the insights. Rounding this up with your key takeaways from this, and now you've been into a different boat altogether. So while all of the panelists have convinced the management, you being on the other side of it, where you were the technology enabler, how are you able to convince people across the board, might be like Ajay or Gaurav or Kulwant or Ashok, that you were the right partner to do it, basically, or how would you open it up, where in-house versus outsource would work in that model overall?
Thanks, Mudit. As a consulting partner for us, right? What we have to do is we have to prove our capability and our success stories to any customer that we want to work with, right? Making sure that we are aware of the specific industry problems is definitely a big plus, right? Manufacturing has its own areas of issues and concerns. Insurance has their own concerns. Legal may have their own concerns. So making sure that we have experience in that specific area is a big plus. But beyond that, making sure that we are experts at technology, that we have enough, experience behind us, customer satisfactions that show that these people can be trusted to implement successfully within schedule, within budget, if far as possible, is definitely a big plus over here for any consulting partner. What we like to do in our journey is make sure that we convince our customers that we don't want to be their vendors, that we want to be their partners in their journey. Digital transformation is a journey. It's not a one-stop shop where you start something, you finish in 6 months and you're done, right? It is something like Kulwant sir said before. They already have a vision for the next 2 to 3 years of what they want to achieve. Then this becomes a journey, and the partner has to be part of the journey and have the same vision as what your customer wants over there. Now, I always say that, just like technology, there is no one single technology that will solve all of your problems. It's not going to happen, right? Nothing happens. There is no one single partner that will solve all of your problems also. That is also not going to happen. We as partners may be a small piece of your bigger vision, which is perfectly fine. But us making sure that we understand your larger picture and how we can plug in there makes a big difference to how we work with the customer, right? You can be a small screw in a large automobile. You have to make sure you plug in properly or that whole automobile will crash, right? So that is the approach that we have to take as partners. We obviously have to be certified skill in the areas that we are working on, whether it's Dynamics 365 or Microsoft 365 or AI technologies. We have to have resources that have experience in that area, that have done projects in that area. Sometimes there are new technologies that are just incoming. So AI has not been around for 10, 15, 20 years. Some variations were there before, but it's a relative technology. So sometimes when you have a good relationship with your customer and they have seen you implement other successful projects for them, they will bet on you, say, you know what, I understand this is new technology, but I would like your team to help us build this solution. Yes, we understand there'll be some learning. It's a learning for you. It's a learning for us also at the same time. But we know that we can trust you to give us your best effort and deliver this solution for us. Because we understand that you can be loyal, you can be trusted, and you have a creative team that thinks out of the box to deliver this solution. Those are important success stories for us to make sure that when we get in front of a customer, that they're like, okay, you know what, I like talking to this guy, I like talking to this team. They think out of box. They will go the extra mile for us. If we have a problem, they will stand next to us. I'm sure Kulwant sir, Ajay ji, Gaurav ji, Ashok ji, whenever they've implemented ERP systems, they were not easy to implement. These are very complex, large projects, and half the times around the world these projects fail. But you want to work with a partner that, even though there are issues, will stand by you and make sure they will work through that issue slowly with you. Nobody will walk away, right? You don't walk away. You stay there and say, you know what, I am going to be here through this journey. There will be issues, but we'll work together. We'll fix these issues with you.
Thank you so much, Nilesh sir. Thank you for your insights. So to wrap up the entire conversation and everything, we will be moving to the last segment of our discussion. No, very brief answers here again. It would be great if we can keep it to 60 seconds. No, till now we've discussed about costs, about convincing management, the barriers to digital transformation and everything. While we've done all of this, everybody has transformed their organizations. We've brought in systems. We've talked about AI, technology, automation, everything. The biggest picture, which comes down to all of this, is the technology enablers are there, but the technology users are also workforce is also transitioning all through this time, since we have implemented ERP, we've implemented a lot of things in place. So platforms are there, automation is there, everything's there. But the technology user has also moved to a very hybrid mode. So your workforce is not just sitting in the office. They are working from home, probably working from Goa, probably working from somewhere across Kashmir, where technology has gone everywhere. Internet has spread like crazy, and they're working from anywhere. Destination weddings were something which were a trend. Now destination coding is something which has started now. So people are going to Goa for 3 months. They're working from there. How do you manage a workforce which is as diverse as the ones we have right now? And how do you make sure that they adopt technology as you've intended it to be used? And how do you convince them to say, okay, we are somebody who you should work with, and these are the systems which are in place, and what is the, and how do you see the resistance there and make the most out of your investments? So we can start with anyone. I think Gaurav, you would be the perfect one to start with, where you are at the core where you are dealing with the millennials more.
Yeah. So Mudit, so I have both of the workforce, one which is on the ground and the other one which is in my team or the operations, like who are sitting in the corporate office or working on the laptops. So both have different type of technology which we have implemented, different use cases. If I talk about the IT team first, right? So as Kulwant and Nilesh rightly said, the use of technologies like the team, Zoom meetings, the tasks which are there on the blackboard, or even the platforms like Asana or Jira are actually going to be the change maker, right? These are the technology which are actually making the things easy for everyone to digest and track their work, getting the things to the closure. The CI/CD is there, which is actually driving the entire platforms coming from development to the rollout, right? So I think this is all making a really good use of technology to enable those. Then on the ground force, our operations app, which is there, it has almost everything which is required by the ground force to use. They have their daily tasks, which are which are there from with the use of AI. I mean, they are directed to you do those tasks on the day. Unless they don't do those tasks, they cannot close those. There's an attendance platform where we use the ground staff can use the geofencing as well as their facial recognition to see the attendants are getting marked, they're not doing any kind of proxy or something. There are a lot of such technology implementation which have been there, that have been particularly used by the ground staff as well. So this is all what we are doing at HooLiv.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Can you? I'll shift the conversation to Ashok sir. If you could throw some light on this, and if you could keep it brief.
Yeah, we track our sales team because production is already they are in attendance and everything. Okay, IT we do work from. We don't have any work from home. We work from office only. But we track our sales team who are there in the market and who goes to the retailers, dealers, distributors. So we have developed some applications through which we capture their minutes of meeting. So like CRM type of application which we use to track the employees. Apart from that, we are the legacy company, so we don't have the very modern systems as on today. But we are in process to implement some of the better processes, better systems to get it.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I'll move to Kulwant sir. Could you please? Now, we already know that you are at the forefront of this with AI and everything. You are bringing the person to the doorstep what to sell. Then I think you will be the best one to answer in terms of bringing the commodity to your footsteps.
Yes, basically what happens, see, we don't have any work from home policy, but yes, the sales team, entire sales team is the market. And as I said that we have a large segment of the customers are our retailers, and we have a large sales team also to cater them. So the idea with me is to remove the duplicacy, and as I said that anything can be accepted if things are customer friendly, employee friendly, and it works smoothly. So here we have make a chain of the system that they have to present at the outlet, that will automatically mark their attendance. As I said that we are into the beverage business where we sold chilled. So we have certain amounts of coolers also in the market. So those people are only identified that yes, coolers are in place. Those people are taking the orders or asking the retailer to punch the order themselves. They are taking care of the purity only, and everything is a chain of the sequence. Then once they enter into the retailer area in the geofencing, they need to complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 activities, which is the part of their daily routine, and they have to come back from that area after doing all those activities. Until they are not completing the activities, they cannot be come back from that area, right? So this is how they are performing their tasks. This is how we are doing our asset tracking. This is how we are marking their attendance. This is how we are providing them incentive also. So when everything is linked to incentive also, so they are also know that after doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to get paid something. And anyways, AI is there to help them in sale. as I said, that we are going into a system where system will tell them what to sell, not to sell. What is the area, where to look after, which is your we say UF, high performing SKUs, which are you must sell SKUs. Everything is in there. I sell mobile set, and again, as everything is on the mobile set, so one first thing comes into the picture, that is the security of my data, because data is very much precious, right? And again, if you start to doing 10 of activities on a mobile, there is a battery which is going to drain. So we have put a MDM system in the mobile, so that we are providing them a kiosk mode. They can do these 10 activities only. They can access these 3 or 4 applications only. And most of their work will be done on only single application in a single sequence, so that their life is easy and acceptance is more. So this is how we are taking everything in the market.
Thank you so much, Kulwant sir. I'll then jump the conversation to Ajay sir. So, what have been your takes on this?
Sir.
Yeah, so okay, the colleagues talked about sales front, in fact, and how the systems are helping to them. Of course, I mean, in the similar way, definitely we have certain standard tools in place here. So, for example, Salesforce, and our continuous efforts towards the system, to give the right output to the stakeholders. Unfortunately, there is a mindset wherein the pre-sales comes into picture. Then a lot of information is with the sales frontiers, and they really don't want to put that into the system because the importance, actually the personal importance. So first of all, that kind of thought process we need to encounter on that, and then make their mind to put each and every information in the system, which will give you the right output afterwards. So we are investing more time into that, in fact, rather than enhancing the system, because system has got the standard processes in place, and it really helps. In fact, if they really think as a CRM as a solution which will help to customers also, and the organization also, then I think definitely it works well. I would say. So it's a continuous journey. I mean, definitely you get sometimes results good, bad, moderate, and poor, but it's a journey. Absolutely.
Thank you. I'll now wind up with Nilesh sir. Your takes on the hybrid work policy, and how is it shaping the IT industry?
I think, hybrid is helping us all with a win-win situation. For many, many years, all of us have been traveling a lot, going to work day in and day out. And while that has taught us a lot about the culture of the company, building the camaraderie with our colleagues, and knowledge sharing in person also. But technology has helped us build a hybrid environment where we can have a true work-life balance, right? It has helped us to collaborate with people across different time zones much more easily over here. So I think the new generation prefers this a lot. They like to make sure that they can work from the comforts of their home. But at the same time, they are able to get to their offices a couple of times a day to interact with seniors, to interact with other people in the organization, to share ideas, to learn. I think as much as there's a YouTube in the world, and there are different learning platforms, what you can learn from your senior with a cup of coffee is way more better than any video out there. So hybrid is going to be a must, especially for the new generation that's coming into work, where they need a little bit more monitoring, they need a little bit more training in person, right? Compared to somebody that is coming 10, 15, 20 years of experience, they are mature, they have learned how to work in the industry. But a new generation that's coming fresh out of college needs a real life experience on how to think, how to be creative, how to work for the company, understand the country's culture, the vision of the company. In that situation, having that in-person connection with the rest of the team members is very, very valuable at that stage. But as you are growing and you become a self-reliant person, you're self-motivated, you're creative, you have learned the rope, then getting into a remote mode where you can be trusted to deliver successfully, I think that goes, and that helps us a lot over here. So there are definitely pros and cons, but it is a way of working. There's no avoiding that anymore. This is exactly how we are going to go and work, and we have to adapt to it and move on from there.
Thank you so much, Nilesh sir, for summing it up for us. It's been a real pleasure to speak to each one of you to know your thought processes, what you've accomplished throughout the digital transformation journeys. And this being the first quantum or first part of Quantum Dialogues, this has been a really insightful information for me also, to speak to industry stalwarts like you and gain knowledge about what are the trends, how are organizations doing digital transformation in this age and time, and how have been people dealing with digital transformation issues in the real world scenario. So thank you so much for all of your time today. We've covered a lot of ground today. I've seen amazing actionable insights from each one of you. And now to wrap it up, I'd like to thank you. And if at all, you would be willing to be part of this conversation once again, we'd be happy to invite you and have you over once again. Probably we'll keep it as a 1 month sort of a thing. We'll have 1 month conversation every time. So thank you so much for your time. We'll be sharing a insights link with you. If you could share your feedback about how the conversation was, and would you be willing to be part of the conversation once again. Thanks everybody for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Mudit.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kulwant. Thank you, Ashok.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.